Let's move into why content is king. A lot of people say what content is king, and the analogy comes to my mind is that the internet, the entire population of active users that are on internet consuming content, it's like a big monster that is hungry all the time. No matter how much content you feed it, they're still hungry. And these are the eyeballs and the attention that we talked about previous episode. They're hungry for good quality content, and you're kind of competing with everybody else on these platforms. And it matters how much content, what is the entertainment value, what is the quality, what is the thoughtfulness or the message you have behind it. So internet is consuming content. How much can you produce?
The content in the internet, let's say specifically online, is real estate, basically. Even when you choose to watch your favorite YouTube video, what is the cost opportunity? You are not watching anything else right now. You're watching these pieces of content. Going back to attention. So I think these two are going together as well, and also to the social media episode we did. But whenever you are consuming a piece of content, that means you are not consuming anything else online. So if you are right now listening to this, you could have listened or watched or read billions and billions of alternatives that are out there online. It's all about the real estate. Also, as a producer of content, you have to have the same understanding that it's real estate. And again, going back to attention, why our thumbnails on YouTube are funny?
Exactly.
We have to grab attention and somehow lead into the content.
So let's talk about that. If you guys by any chance haven't listened to Attention episode, I highly recommend it. Go listen to that. This segment makes a lot of sense. So we went extensively on why attention matters, but how to get that attention, you need content. Imagine if you're in a room and you are quiet and you're just looking at the wall. Nobody's going to give you attention. You have to be speaking. You have to be doing something. So that doing something, that speaking translates to content on the internet. Otherwise, you're just a quiet person and just listening and not doing anything. So you need to produce that content to get the attention. But the platforms also are getting sophisticated that, like YouTube, you have the image as thumbnail, you have the text, you have the video. So they're all working together to get that attention. So you don't need to be just focus on one type anymore. You have all of them combined together.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's real estate, right? It's very simple. Think about it this way. And especially when you are producing content, and even look at the progress we have made through our podcast. And we started with Zoom calls, and we said, is this real estate attractive enough? Would people want to buy this real estate? Maybe. It was for the time. COVID hit and we stayed home, but let's improve it. Let's upgrade it to the next level and let's get more attention because we can. So this is how we build it, and we're keeping to build it right now.
And I'm sure we're going to talk about distribution of content in another future episode, but the content itself, as you said, we started with Zoom, audio only, and then progressed to the current format. And the only way for us to communicate with the outside world of people that we don't know and we want them to connect with us is through producing content and put it out there. So it's a full circle. I like it how putting yourself out there. You need content to do that on the internet today. Maybe 40 years ago, you needed a different type of approach.
40 years ago, it wasn't that relevant because not anyone could be a producer of content. Today we are taking it for granted, but each and every one of us with this, we can produce
It was just a different landscape. Even let's say 400 years ago, if you wanted to put yourself out there, you had to go walk in the city and talk to people. The way you go out there and talk to people today in 2020 is put a video out there, because that's how people communicate. That's how our lives are. We have a parallel universe out there in the virtual world.
It's accessible for anyone right now. And if you had 400 years ago LinkedIn, let's say, I'm sure that it will be different, right? But
absolutely.
You had only a small percentage of individual, not even 400 years ago, let's take 30, 40, 50 years ago, the media role has changed dramatically just in the last 10, 20 years, and every one of us can influence it to a certain extent.
Yeah. And what I also see is we have a parallel universe, there's a virtual world, and there's a real world. And all the signals show that at a very fast rate, we are adapting this virtual world. It's becoming more of our lives, especially during COVID. We're spending more on screens. Our screen times are up compared to pre-COVID. So this just shows that if you are not producing content, it's as if you're not existing on the virtual world. You're just on this world. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but if you want to have some say or some real estate in the virtual world going in the future, you need to produce content. Otherwise, the attention is going to be more and more and more expensive. And at some point, it will become like walking in the city, but on internet. Because walking in the city, maximum you could have thought to 5 strangers. There will be a day that you put a video and it won't get more than 5 views because that's how far it could travel.
Yeah, but again, it's not about necessarily the views. It's about what you get from it in the long term. So you get the portfolio aspect of it, where you have your documentation, and we'll get into it soon. You have yourself out there, and think about it. If I told you right now you will not produce any more content, how would you use social media? Would it be different? It will feel like I'm restricting you substantially. How would it feel?
No, so I would consume content for sure, but I feel like it's my personality that I'm an extrovert. I don't want to be just there scrolling and watch other people's. I want to participate as soon as, and that's why TikTok was super attractive, because it's engaging that you do a duet, you do a reaction video, you jump in and do a video that is interactive with the video that you're watching. So you're not just a passive listener. And all the hatred towards social media is from people who get into this rabbit hole of just passive listening. And it's as if they are a ghost and they're just watching. As soon as you jump in and you are participating in the platform, it becomes a lot more exciting.
The hate towards social media, as you said, when they introduced the printing press, the hate was also towards books. After it was the hate toward radio is going to corrupt our kids.
Absolutely.
Every new media tool that was out there got the backlash. But, if you look at it from an objective perspective, this is the reality right now. And you either embrace it, consume it. You don't necessarily have to go around and dance on TikTok right now. I wouldn't dance in any case on TikTok. But it doesn't mean I cannot consume the media, consume the platform, understand, give me a better perspective of what consumers are doing out there. I think it's important to us,
and it's also
online business.
And it's also important to note that when we are talking about content, it's not this brand new thing. It's been around for a very, very long time. Books, publication, even if somebody wrote something on a cave, that's content. It's just the format of it is changing over time. And now we are entering a new type of content era that content is even more powerful. So I think we can establish that content is king. If you want to do anything on the internet, sell something, become a YouTuber, make money, or even have a say, have a voice, you need to start with content. Let's move on to document.